Rush Limbaugh's
Folks,
every racist moment.
There's actually a debate going on ESPN and throughout the sports world over who can use the N-word, when and how, and who can't, when and how. A little history lesson for you. If any race of people should not have guilt about slavery, it's Caucasians. The white race has probably had fewer slaves and for a briefer period of time than any other in the history of the world. No other race has ever fought a war for the purpose of ending slavery, which we did.
There's some good stuff in there, folks. There's some good fucking stuff in there, dude. Now, like, listening to him right now on this broadcast is going to allow you to be closer to your fucking grandparents than ever before. Like, you now will understand why your fucking grandparents are the way that they are. Like, you probably were wondering, like, how the fuck did they get so racist? Like, why are we so different than one another? This is part of it. A big part of it, actually. This dude needs to fucking die. Oh, wait. Okay. Yeah. Before we continue, though, with the greatest hits, I, of course, need to run my top of the hour, every hour, 60-second ad break. The first of the day today, folks. If you no longer want to see the ads, all you need to do is subscribe. You can do it for $5, or you can do it for free by subscribing with your Twitch Prime. You can connect your Amazon Prime account to your Twitch account, which gives you one free subscription to your favorite broadcaster. Now that Rush is gone, your favorite broadcaster is probably me. So, you know, you can use it here instead of using it on Rush Limbaugh's, radio show. So, yeah, use your Twitch Primes on me and not Rush Limbaugh. Here's the fucking 60-second ad break now. All right, let's continue.
Nearly 600,000 people killed in the Civil War. It's preposterous that Caucasians are blamed for slavery when they've done more to end it than any other race.
This argument is my favorite type of argument that you hear all the time. It's like the playground bully. I'm going to simplify it. I'm not reducing slavery to this or the Civil War to this. But it's like when the playground bully fucking beats the shit out of you and then stops beating the shit out of you and says, why don't you celebrate me for, stopping beating the shit out of you? Look at how much, look how I'm exercising control here. That's one ass whooping that I saved you from. Well, motherfucker, you're the one who did the ass whooping. Like, what are you doing? If we were to consider that there is a singular white race, which there really isn't. It's not a real thing. Whiteness is a concept created as a consequence of like exclusion or trying to justify the horrific oppression that you were subjugating people that you declared non-white to. Whiteness has expanded throughout time, and black people or blackness is again a cultural thing that you can point to because there was no other way for black people to experience and have a shared culture because of literally fucking slavery. So, it's a social construct. In the way that we understand it, and not the fucking, skin paleness or skin color or skin tone that we're talking about. There is a racialized component. Obviously, there's a heavily racialized component, and skin color does factor. Also factors into this equation, of course, but I am a perfect example of someone who is sitting directly on top of the line of whiteness, okay? Directly on top of it. I'm white as fuck. I'm pale as fuck. I'm whiter than most motherfuckers who would be considered white unconditionally in America. And yet, when people are like, well, when you ask some white people, they're like, you're not white. Your fucking name is Hasan. You're Muslim. Get the fuck out of here. You're Turkish. You understand? Turns out, it's a little bit socially constructed. Yeah, I'm literally more white than fucking Rush Limbaugh, dude.
It's preposterous that Caucasians are blamed for slavery when they've done more to end it than any other race. They have discovered that Obama does have...
Wait, I'm confused. So, so the Civil War was fought over slavery then, huh? Because if you ask Rush in a different moment, he'll say, no, it's states' rights. Not slavery, states' rights. Okay, so the Caucasians didn't fight to end slavery then. So are you saying that the Republican Party, are you saying that the North was in the wrong for fighting against states' rights then? If no slavery is involved in the equation, then where are you really? Sea of contradictions, baby, always. Also, it's not like the South was all black people. Like, whites have done more to end slavery. Okay, well then the other side of that argument is like, if there is a unified white race that we're talking about, then they've done more to preserve slavery as well, which is true. They literally have. So
have slave blood. Slave blood.
Wait. Let's run that again.
They have discovered that Obama does have slave blood. Slave blood.
I had never experienced the kind of euphoria that I got from a pain pill.
The Republicans are just totally bamboozled right now.
He was deeply addicted to painkillers.
They think they've got to rebrand, and it's all predict they got to reach out to minorities. The Republican Party lost because it's not conservative. Why does putting Condoleezza Rice front and center at the convention not work? Why does putting Marco Rubio front and center at the convention not work? Why does putting...
Because Republicans are racist. And he's just like, just lean into the racism. Like, what are you doing? What is this, like, fake bullshit? What are you, the fucking Democratic Party? Making it seem like, we put a couple people with a different skin complexion or a different background, and all of a sudden, like, people are going to fucking start voting for us? Like, it doesn't work that way. Come on. Come on. Put the fucking whites in there. It doesn't matter who's
Susan
there.
Martinez, the governor of New Mexico, front and center convention, not work.
I mean, he's right. He's literally right.
So, nigga with an A on the end. Well, I think I can now. Isn't that the point? Because it's not racist. That's the point. I could be talking about a male. I could be a Chinese male, a guy at the laundromat. I could be talking about a man. That's what she said it means. Because it's not racist. Because it's not racist. Because it's not racist. Huh?
Yo, he just dropped that, dude. I was not expecting that. That was wild. Guys, he said it's not racist, so I mean, you better watch out for Monka TOS shit. Yikes, dude. Yeah, no. There's going to be fucking Monka TOS shit, of course. I mean, it's not actually TOS.
How many Native Americans, how many Indians were killed by the arrival of the white man through disease and war? And how many people have died since the white man arrived here due to lung cancer, thanks to the Indian invented custom of smoking tobacco? Who are the real killers here? Where are our reparations?
What, dude? Yo, I had never heard of that. Fuck. Yo, this guy's got some good points. Oh, man. Oh, yeah, lung cancer. Wouldn't that be fucking crazy?
Where are our...
I guess the Native Americans, hey, the Native Americans want to have a war with you. Here's a fucking reparations, bitch. I don't know why the Native Americans are Italian. Well, I guess they're POC. Italians are POC. You know what it is. Hot take machine? Absolutely. Dude, that's what happens when you do fucking 3 hours of, like, stream of consciousness tapped into the fucking racism main vein.
Reparations. Go that's right out of Adolf Hitler's playbook. Now, what are the similarities between the Democrat Party of today and the Nazi Party in Germany? Well, the Nazis were against big business. They hated big business. And, of course, we all know that they were opposed to Jewish capitalism. They were insanely, irrationally against pollution.
They were for 2 years mandatory voluntary service to Germany. They had a whole bunch of make-work projects to keep people working, one of which...
Okay, this is literally straight the fuck up Nazi rhetoric. This is how you deny the Holocaust, okay? That's the difference between someone like Rush Limbaugh, who probably doesn't deny the Holocaust, but is doing like literal fucking Holocaust denial shit. Make work programs. Like as though they were legitimate make work programs. Nazis were socialists, even though they fucking killed socialists or threw them in fucking concentration camps first. Or that they were against Jewish capitalism. What the fuck is Jewish capitalism, dude? Talking about them's bad because they are like Nazis. Also, Rush. Nazis aren't as bad as people say. Lol. I love when Republicans do this shit. Yeah.
Was the Autobahn. They were against cruelty and vivisection of animals.
I love when people say like, oh, well, they built the Autobahn or they continued building the Autobahn. Oh, I guess when you build roads, you're socialist. I didn't realize that like, America was a socialist nation because we have fucking highways, dude. So good. Oh, did he say vegan? Oh, fuck yeah. I love that. Yeah, Nazis famously love privatization, fucking busted unions, absolutely despise socialists and communists to the degree where they fucking either killed them or put them in fucking concentration camps. And those guys, they were socialist actually. They're just like the Democratic Party because, and if you look at it, they're just like the Democratic Party. Why? Because the Democratic Party wants to build roads. Like, I don't even know where to fucking start with this argument. It's like, are you saying that building roads is bad because the Nazis did it too? Yeah, if you're a vegan environmentalist, you're a Nazi? Like, what a fucking idiotic take.
But in the radical sense of devaluing human life, they banned smoking. They were totally against that. They were...
Yeah, Nazis love fucking cranking out meth too. And drugs. That doesn't make fucking Rush Limbaugh a Nazi. Rush Limbaugh's a Nazi for other reasons. Because his ideological position in the world is relatively similar to the fucking Nazis.
Abortion and euthanasia of...
They literally... Guy, it was illegal for the folk to have abortions. It was literally illegal. Punishable by fucking death. They loved abortion and eugenics for non-whites. I love when conservatives just straight up fucking make shit up. And they're like, Nazis, they wanted to do gun control, and that's why Democrats are like Nazis. And they loved abortions. It's like, well, they were super pro death penalty, and Republicans are. They definitely were pro criminalizing abortions for whites.
The undesirables, as we all know, and they were for cradle-to-grave nationalized health care.
Well, it's a good point. You know how to stop abortion? Require that each one occur with a gun.
You put your kids on a school bus, you expect safety, but in Obama's America, the white kids now get beat up with the black kids cheering, yeah, right on, right on, right on.
There is an attempt.
Wow, that was so convincing. That black person impersonation was so convincing. I, for a second, thought, wow, how did Rush Limbaugh find a black person to sound out that part? Dude, it's fucking delicious. This stuff is just delicious. Now, I hope you're understanding a little bit further why I feel the way that I do.
Attack on masculinity that's been going on in our culture since the advent of the modern era of feminism, the late 60s, early 70s. I mean, the way I've been conditioned by the Democrats and the left in this country, that sounds like a hate crime. That Trayvon Martin starts pummeling Zimmerman because the gal on the phone, Rachel Jeantel, said, hey, a guy could be a rapist. You better run. But Trayvon's no coward. He didn't run away from stuff, so he starts pummeling on Zimmerman. Folks, there's actually a debate going on ESPN and throughout the sports world over who can use the N-word, when and how, and who can't, when and how.
But we can't go after poor old Barack that way, because he's a minority. Romney knows how to do this. He did it to Newt, and he did it to Santorum. He knows full well how he has to do this. But I know what they think they're up against. They got the first black president, independence. It's easy to go after Newt or Romney because they're conservatives and everybody hates conservatives anyway. But we can't go after poor old Barack that way because he's a minority. First president in history, to my knowledge anyway, who...
So a lot of this stuff, a lot of the takes that you're hearing right now are like the first drafts of the same recycled garbage that you hear all the time. Actually, white people are the real victims here because, you know, blacks can use their minority status to get ahead, stuff like that. Like this has been, this is, of course, a conservative talking point that they have unironically conserved and recycled over and over again in different formats. So that's why it's so familiar. That's why I always say, like, you hear one fucking think tank dipshit, you hear all of the conservative talking points. You hear one conservative talk in a comment or in a forum somewhere, you hear all the talking points because they basically have a pipeline where the information gets churned out so effectively through the conservative media apparatus directly into the mouths of these this human centipede of conservative talking points. And it's always the same, and it's always been the fucking same.
Who actually wants his nation to fail. Obama wants to create an illegal alien Bill of Rights. We're now governed by people who do not like the country. Who is Obama? Why is he doing this? No, why? He wouldn't have been voted president if he weren't black.
Let me put it to you this way. The NFL all too often looks like a game between the Bloods and the Crips without any weapons. Day mocking the standard. Who dat? Who dat say they mocking the standard? Al Sharpton say they mocking the standard.
Wow. Incredibly convincing. Again, if I close my eyes, I just assume, you know, this guy's mentally ill. No, my friend. He's literally just racist, LMAO. Ding, 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 ding. There you go, my friend. There you go.
How many people really
His AAVE is worse than yours? First of all, I've literally never done AAVE unless it's like, unless I'm straight up fucking joking. Like when I say, Chile. What do I always say? If you're going to do accents, from like a marginalized community, you either have to be really fucking good at it or it's over. You're going to look like you're a fucking piece of shit.
Obama as black. He's not from the hood. He's not from the movement. When I hear Chinese or Japanese, it sounds like all the same word.
It is these wackos, from Bill Ayers to Jeremiah Wright to other anti-American, Afrocentric, black liberation theologists, working with Acorn, and Barack Obama is smack dab in the middle of it. They have been training young black kids to hate this country. And they trained their parents before that to hate this country.
Here's my premise, and you agree with it or not, that if you have money, you're going to get health care. If you don't have money, it's more difficult.
If you have money, you're going to get a house on the beach. If you don't have money, you're going to live in a bungalow somewhere.
Right.
That's
right, but we're talking about health care.
What's the difference?
The difference is we're talking about health care,
no,
not a house in a bungalow.
You're assuming that there's some morally superior aspect to health care.
Again, so fucking close, but because it's Shatner, right? Because he's a fucking liberal, he can't counter it and be like, there is no difference. Shelter is also a fucking human right, you dumb fuck. And that's precisely why we should have public housing. you get stone locked into being like, it's different because it's healthcare. No, both literally are subject to inelastic demand. You need healthcare and you need shelter. These are essential human needs that you have for survival. If we were to eliminate that need, if we were to have that taken care of, we would be a more productive society. Okay, there is even a neoliberal argument to make for and a Econ 101 argument to make for both shelter and also healthcare being completely publicly funded, or maybe not completely publicly funded, but at least a base level of material quality that is provided by the government. But you know, we can't do that.
The difference is we're talking about health care,
No.
not a house and a bungalow.
You're assuming that there's some morally superior aspect to health care. I'm telling you earlier, I'm not a conformist. I hated school because it's what everybody else had to do.
Hey, Rush.
Mr. President, sir.
All is well. Do you see our man Ailes at all?
Oh, yeah.
We're on the radio, are we?
For years, the radio talk show host had taken a tough stand on drug cases, advocating prison time for the crimes. But that's not what happened when he faced his own drug charge.
I am addicted to prescription pain medication.
I had never experienced the kind of euphoria that I got from a pain pill. So the pain pills came along and they masked all these feelings of inadequacy that I had.
Rush is by far the most articulate, defining voice of conservatism in America today, the most articulate voice of Reagan conservatism in the country. Rush is a powerful voice.
That's honest. That is true. He is. He absolutely is. And that's why I get extra triggered when Democrats turn around and do this fucking historical revisionism and act as though Rush Limbaugh and Donald Trump and Ronald Reagan aren't directly on that same exact fucking pipeline. You understand? When Democrats turn around and lie to you and say, why can't we have good conservatism like Ronald Reagan? Remember that they are lying to you. Okay, either they are delusional and think that the Ronald Reagan era conservatism is entirely different than what Rush Limbaugh espouses or espoused. Either they're delusional or they are purposely fucking lying to you. Okay, it's the same shit. It is exactly the same shit. It's always been the same shit. And anyone who tells you otherwise is either fucking lying to you to sell you some shit, or they are delusional and should not be taken seriously.
Argue that Rush is the leader of the conservative movement in the country. I know him. I'm friends with him. He's a gracious, gracious man. Rush is the leader in radio.
Everybody's making immigration proposals these days. Let me add...
Okay, that's kind of drippy, though. Oh, that's... Okay, I take back... This is actually pretty fucking tight. I didn't know he had merch like this. I would fuck with some merch like this. Holy shit.
Mind to the mix. Call it the Limbaugh laws. First, you immigrate to our country, you have to speak the native language. You have to be a professional or an investor. No unskilled workers allowed. Also, there'll be no special bilingual programs in the schools with the Limbaugh laws, no special ballots for elections, no government business will be conducted in your language.
Wait, so you don't want people to, like, integrate then? Like, what a dumb take. It's like you don't want people coming in that like don't know English already. Like, what a fucking idiotic take. Like, bilingual language classes are a necessity for integration. Like, if you want immigration, and Rush here claims that he wants immigration, when he doesn't, all he's saying here is like, we want white immigration. Okay, that's it. We want rich white people coming in here. We don't want no fucking Mexicans coming over the border. That's what he's basically saying in such few words, in such an eloquent way, because he is the leader of the Republican Party and their rhetoric. So, Rush Limbaugh actually died by drowning from all that drip? Yeah. So, no one's selling stuff and making deals to foreign companies?
Foreigners will not have the right to vote or hold political office. If you're in our country, you cannot be a burden to taxpayers. You are not entitled to welfare.
Ironic, considering the fact that undocumented immigrants are literally less of a tax burden than natural-born U.S. citizens. So that's another incredible take. But you know, what do I know?
Or food stamps or other government goodies. You can come if you invest here, an amount equal to 40,000 times a daily minimum wage. If not, stay home. But if you want to buy land, it'll be restricted. No waterfront, for instance, and as a foreigner, you have to relinquish individual rights to the property. And another thing, you don't have the right to protest. You're allowed no demonstrations, no foreign flag waving, no political organizing, no bad-mouthing our president.
Literally un-American. But in some ways, the most American take is to tell people that they do not have the fundamental, some would say, most important right offered to you by the Constitution. Your most important freedom, robbing that of those who come here after you in a nation that is built, and some might even correctly point out, stolen by immigrants. It is rather ironic for him to turn around and be like, yeah, we were here, we immigrated here, we stole this land, we robbed the people, we killed the people, so now this is our land. So if you come after us, even if you come with the insane fucking conditions that I've put forward, I'm just not going to give you the same fucking rights. You're going to be reduced to second-class citizenship always.
Or his policy.
Again, what the fuck did you do, Rush? You just crawled out of your demon mother's pussy, and you were a blob of hatred for the rest of your fucking life. What the fuck have you done? Shut the fuck up.
You're a foreigner. Shut your mouth or get out. And if you come here illegally, you're going to jail.
It's unconstitutional. What he said is just straight the fuck up unconstitutional.